Hi, my name is Atara McGee, and today I would like to welcome you to Youth Empowered to Succeed. Youth Empowered to Succeed is a program devoted to help every young person in our local community, in this nation, and in this world on the proper skills needed to succeed in life. And with that being said, today in particular, we will discuss self-efficacy. And with self-efficacy in particular, we'll discuss goal setting. Before we begin, I would like you to take a look at a brief video.
What that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. That some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself and say, God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. Why did this have to happen to me? For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. Their rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us.
It's very important for you to believe that you are the one.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that inspirational video. As you can see, that video was there to kind of challenge us to remember that we all have dreams. We all have aspirations. But with those dreams and aspirations, sometimes comes a few life challenges. But however, with those challenges, it's not impossible to reach those goals. So I want to give a brief illustration really quick. As you can see here, we normally see this, maybe if we go to the cemetery, maybe if we read in a history book, but we normally see this brief timeline. This timeline we see here represents birth, here in the beginning, and death, here in the end. This is the day that we're born, this is the day that we die. And neither one of these are actually the most important, but it's actually what we do here in between that's most important. That's what we call life. With that part of our life, we have to focus on developing our dreams. However, to accomplish that dream, we must have goals. Now, with goals, we have to understand that if we don't plan for life, life will plan for us. There are some circumstances, some situations that we may run into, but again, life will have a plan for us if we don't plan to overcome those situations and those circumstances. So let's dig on in. What actually is a goal? What actually is a purpose of a goal? Why do I need goals? Well, let's talk briefly. We have to understand the value that we have in ourselves. And because we are of such great value, we are a business. We're marketable. We're able to go out here and market ourselves, and not just for a company or a corporation, but even if we want to be an entrepreneur, or even if we want to just be someone who is impacting some part of this society or this world. So we're a business. We can accomplish, we can move forward, we can do things that we never thought or even once imagined that we can do. You can take your talents, your skills, your God-given abilities, because you are a product, and take that product to anywhere you go and you will excel. So let's begin. What's a goal? Well, a goal is an objective. It's a purpose. It's something that we're pushing towards. It's more than just a dream, though. It's a dream that is being acted on. Something that we're aiming towards every day of our lives, every day that we breathe. A goal is more than just, oh, I wish I could do something, or a goal is clear of this is exactly what I'm working towards. For example, if I wanted to be an attorney, I understand that there are steps that I have to take to be an attorney. So I have to first complete high school. Now from completing high school, now I have to go to a four-year university and receive a bachelor's degree. And now I proceed further after that to go to law school. And then I have to take the bar exam. But all of these are short-term goals that are building up to my overall long-term goals. Everything is started with a thought. So you must put yourself in a position to think about what you want to do. Think about what you want to be and think about where you want to go in this life. Next, let's move to the benefits of actually setting a goal. Goals help to guide us. Goals help to keep us on track. You know, sometimes, if we are, I remember stories of actual farm animals, and they put what they call these bridles on them, and also these blinders on them to help them to be able to see in what direction they're going into, because so many things on the outside are preventing and causing distractions, not really preventing, but causing distractions to come along. So with that being said, we have to keep our eyes focused on that particular goal. You know, there's a scripture that talks about keeping our eyes focused on the prize in which we're pressing towards every day. Also, goals provide us clarity on what we're doing and where we're going, because goals are measurable. There's something that we can actually obtain, something that we can see our growth and where we're going and where we're developing into. Okay? So let's think about, how do we establish goals? We have to be smart. We have to be smart, S-M-A-R-T, about our goals. The S stands for being specific. We have to be specific in our goals, where we want, what we want to do, how we want to do them. You know, what direction are we going into? We can't just live life and exist in life without having any clear direction in where we're going. Next, our goals have to be measurable, something that we can see the growth in, something that we can see and how far we're advancing. Okay? Next, our goals have to be attainable. Think of something that you can actually attain, something that is not, there's nothing that's actually impossible, but something that can be attained is something that we have in our head to say, this is what I want, this is what I know I can move towards, and this is what I know that I can accomplish. Even though some things may seem impossible, I know for a fact this will be me in the next 5 years. This will be me in the next 10 years. Okay? And R, goals must be relevant. Your goal must be relevant to who? You, your purpose and your destiny in life. The reason that God allowed you to come here on this earth, the purpose that was set for you. Your goals are a purpose because they're relevant to where in the direction that you're going into. Okay? And then next, it has to be time bound. We have to have a time frame on which we're trying to accomplish our goals. If we don't have a time frame, it would be much harder for us to actually fulfill and to accomplish those goals. For instance, if I said that I wanted to be an attorney, I understand that I have to go to 4 years of high school, 4 years time, and then also I have to go to another 3 to 5 years, maybe 4 for the average, of college, of undergraduate education. And then after that, I would have to go to law school, which may be another 2 to 3, 4 years, depending on the individual or the institution. It would take about 2 to 3, 4 years to actually obtain that. That is time frames that you actually notice along the way. You'll see 4 years, 4 years, 3 or 4 years. Those are time frames which I should be looking at and when I'm trying to accomplish my specific goals. Let's move forward. There are some steps that we have to take into reaching our goals. The first step is we want to have a vision. We have to have a vision for our goals, where we're actually headed, what we're actually trying to attain to do, and having a clear understanding of what we see ourselves happy doing in 5 to 10 years, which is the ultimate goal. Number 2, we have to write our goals down. The Bible teaches us to write the vision and make it plain. We have to write the vision down, write down our goals so we can see them. If we see them, we're much more prone to actually going and working towards them than actually just saying, okay, I'm going to think about them here and there, or every other day or every other week. Number 3 is we actually have to turn each goal into an action plan. You have to have a plan on each goal and how to accomplish that goal. For example, if I want to purchase a home, I have to have an action plan on how to purchase that home. I can't just wake up in the morning and just say, whoop, there's my home. No, we have to have an action plan to actually work towards obtaining that home. Same thing with our education. Same thing with our career goals. Same thing with our families. Same thing with our behaviors. We have to have an action plan to work towards accomplishing the goal that we have set and established in our lives. Next, we have to set a timeline. I remember I just said a second ago that we have to have a time frame. Let's set a timeline for ourselves. And this timeline should show us exactly what and when we should actually work towards a specific goal. Okay? Let's continue to move forward. There are different types of goals. Different types of goals that we see all across different social media websites, different type of YouTube videos we watch. We see different type of goals that people are talking about. But in particular, we want to specifically focus in on long-term and short-term goals. Long-term goals we want to start with, because we always want to start with our end in mind. We always want to start with where we're wanting to end. What legacy are we wanting to leave? And what stories do we want to be told regarding our lives and the purpose and our purpose actually being fulfilled in our lives? Okay? So, with that being said, let's start with the long-term goal. Let's think of a long-term goal that you may want to accomplish in your life, that you may actually want to fulfill. If you say that you want to have a lot of money, if you say that you want to have a car, if you say that you want to have a home, if you say that you want to be a business owner of multiple different businesses, whatever it is, make sure you have a long-term goal, which is technically maybe about 5 to 10 years down the line. Okay? So with that long-term goal, we want to start again with the end that is in mind. Next, we want to move forward to know what are short-term goals. Well, short-term goals are goals that we take small steps in between to get to that long-term goal. Those short-term goals are pretty much goals in life that we're taking to get towards those short-term goals. So, for instance, we just gave an example of the long-term goal of actually obtaining a home. Well, we know that we must have credit to actually have a home, correct? So we want to make short-term goals to begin to work on our credit and get our credit score to where it needs to be. 2, we want to educate ourselves on the proper terminology and the understanding of how to purchase a home. That's more short-term goals. We want to understand that also, not just the terminology, but what can we actually afford? What is in our financial budget? What can we do? That's another short-term goal. So let me look at my overall budget. This is how much money I would like to put down on my home. Those are all short-term goals that are getting you to that overall goal of actually having that home. There's always a simple scenario. It talks about, how do you eat an elephant? Well, there's a simple answer to that question. One bite at a time. So we want to find out which bite is actually more important. The first one. The first bite is the most important, because the first bite is what causes you to push and to press, to continue to eat and eat. We're actually embarking upon Thanksgiving, and with Thanksgiving right around the corner, literally, we actually think about how much food we're going to eat. But when we look at that turkey, or we look at the ham, or we look at the stuffing or the dressing, we don't just look at a small first bite. We look at that whole plate that we have full of food. And that first bite is that initial bite that gives us good flavor and good tasting to keep pushing to eat the rest of that plate. Well, it's the same thing with our goals. The first bite that you take, the first step that you take towards your goal, is the thing that continues to push you to accomplish that goal. When you taste that turkey has good flavor to it. So you know what? I want to continue to eat the rest of that turkey. Well, it continues to move forward, the same thing with our goals. We want to take that first step. That first step is say, okay, I need to make sure I have a job that produces enough income. And then after that, we start marking off little small goals in between to get to that overall goal of actually purchasing that home. We're going to do a simple exercise where you actually will take time to write down some of your goals. Take a brief moment and think of your overall, what do you feel to believe is your purpose. Think about that goal, and I want you to write it down. And then after you write that goal down, then I want you to think of maybe 3 to 5 short-term goals that can help get you to that overall goal. Now remember, with those 3 to 5 short-term goals, we want to be realistic. Maybe give it a couple months, maybe a 6-month goal time frame, maybe a 1-year time frame. That's a short-term goal. But also that big goal is the overall one. It may take 5 to 10 years to actually accomplish. So let's think about that for a second. And remember, it's what we want to see in the end is what causes us to make and develop those short-term goals. Okay? Let's move a little bit further as you're writing. And we want to understand, give you a moment to write, about executing your goals. Okay? Executing your goals, our goal is understanding that goals are essential. Goals are essential to every purpose that is given in life. Goals are essential to everything that you want to accomplish. And goals are essential to keeping us on the right path. Now, remember, there's always a saying, and there's also, even if I'm not mistaken, there's a scripture, but we hear a saying all the time that says, the blind lead the blind, they all can fall in the ditch. You cannot allow yourself to be entrapped or engrafted around individuals or people who are not working or pushing you towards your goal. You cannot be around individuals who are not helping you to accomplish that specific goal in life. Take a step back. Think about it for a second. Process in your mind any individual or the friends that you have who are not actually pushing you towards your goal. The friends that you have around you who are not actually focused on their own goals, who have no goals in sight, who have no goals in mind. Think about that. And then I want you to think about how much time you're actually spending with these particular individuals. How much time are you engulfing or entrapping yourself with these particular individuals? And if the amount of time that you're spending with them exceeds the amount of time that you're focusing on your goals, then something has to be eliminated. And most likely it would be those individuals who are technically what they say blind, because they're not pushing you to get to your purpose or your destiny in life. We want to have friends, we want to have associates, we want to have people around us who are helping us to guide in the right direction and helping us to keep us on track. It's always good to have non-parental individuals, adults who are around, not your friends and your teenagers, but also if you have your parents, but if you have a mentor or a coach or a teacher, an instructor, a youth leader, someone like that, those particular individuals are there to help you. Help guide you, help keep you on track, help put you in a place of where you're supposed to be, and not to think about what's going on the left and what's going on the right, but these people are helped to guide you along. Remember that when you're setting your goals and when you're thinking of those short-term goals, that you don't push the snooze button. When we wake every morning, I'm actually can attest to this. I do not like to get up early in the morning. However, I know that I have to get up to go to work. So if I hit that snooze button is pushing me further back from reaching my goal. That snooze button is putting me further back. If me hitting it is putting it further back for me accomplishing the task that I want. That snooze button is there for a purpose. And that purpose for that snooze button is to get you up, to get you moving, and to get you focused towards moving towards that goal for that day. It is not there for you to push back your destiny. It is not there for you to push back your purpose, but that snooze button is there for you to continue to move forward, to fulfill every dream and to fulfill every desire that you have in life. Remember, do not push the snooze button.
When you become an individual, what you do is you take yourself and you start separating yourself from other people. I challenge you to get to a place where people don't like you, it don't even bother you no more. Why? Because you're not concerned with trying to make them happy, because you're trying to blow up. You're trying to get to the next level. I need you to invest in your mind. Invest in your mind. If you still talk about your dream, if you still talk about your goal, but you have not done anything, just take the first step.
That you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. Don't let nobody steal your dream. After we face a rejection and a no, or we have a meeting and no one shows up, or somebody say, you can count on me, and they don't come through. What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win. You can live your dream.
Thank you so much. I hope that you've enjoyed this snippet of information regarding goal setting. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave a comment underneath. But also remember that goals are here to push you towards purpose. Goals are here to guide you along in life. And goals are here to help you feel and more confident in what you are capable of doing. My name again is Atara McGee. Thank you for this session with Youth Empowered to Succeed. And I look forward to seeing you next time.